The 905th edition of the MMA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Underdog's got a brand new offer for new customers. Pay just $5 and get $50 in bonus funds when you sign up. Promo code MMA SGPN.
Howdy ho, Degenerinos. Welcome to episode 905 of the MMA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. Let's give it out to Goofier Deer, one of our buddies in the Discord, who's now doing big fight breakdowns on Reddit. Like for each of the fights, he's starting to write out his breakdowns, which is good because he has good insight and stuff. So this goes out to Goofier Deer. He's now the guy that keeps it moving in the.
He's got great gifts that everybody loves.
Oh, that's right. That makes people mad, which I love it. All right. Contender Series, Gumby. We kind of talked about week 4 already yesterday. We don't really want to talk about it, right? Week 4 is a bummer.
I mean, it's a bummer for me as a Jack Congdon fan and former training partner. It feels like that highlight will probably be on commercials for the next 10 years. Am I wrong about that?
Yeah. Especially if this guy does something in the UFC. So yeah,
even if he doesn't, I feel like this is just like the preview. You're gonna want to watch Contender series because this is what happened. So that's a bummer for me. I know people are down on Antoine Ho right now, but like the illegal knee and just how bad Gary Copeland was reffing, like, was a bummer to me. Look, I want to be in the beneficiary of one of them. I had the TKO prop on Cesario Lashejuk, which he wound up getting. But did you see how that fight went down? Like, I know
sure did.
Sometimes you watch him later, but like he stopped the fight and was like, those are illegal shots. And then the cage side, Jason Herzog was like, not a single one of them was illegal. And then they for some reason put
your opponent.
And then then they waved the fight off. And then for some reason they're like, who should have a microphone right now is Daniel Cormier.
The guy knows nothing about rules.
And not only knows nothing about rules, but has a emotional tie to the fighter who just lost. Being that Theo Haig trains at his gym, and he was like, I know those were illegal. Now, when I came out of the bathroom, I didn't know what had happened. I was like,
okay. Yeah.
You literally said you just came out of the bathroom. The fight only took 36 seconds, pal. So like, it was a little bit of a shit show. I did really enjoy watching Cesario Lashejuk do well, though, and Tommy McMillan, who I said, you even posted a clip of it. You asked me who is the biggest prospect here. And I know some people are like, I'm going to fade Tommy McMillan in the future. I'm telling you, that takedown defense, the power and the toughness, it's going to play up. He's going to beat dudes in the UFC.
Just wish he wouldn't get hit so much. So it may not carry him very far in the UFC, but we'll see. He's going to be exciting at the very least. All right, on to week 5. You have another buddy in the main event of week 5. Gumby, look at you.
I have 2 buddies in the main event. I like Guarascio too.
Right. Yeah, you've had him on your show too. So it's like Gumby is booking this year Contender Series. He may as well. Gumby knows all these people. A lot of familiar names. Even if you just listen to our podcast and don't even watch MMA, a lot of at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 names you probably have heard us talk about before, right? Main event, and then third fight, and then fourth fight. I would say. I don't think we've talked about Shanelle Dyer. Have we talked about her before?
Yeah, she fought Danielle Scatizzi on PFL. I think we broke that fight down on. I think it was a PFL Europe. She fought Danielle Scatizzi.
So 7 out of 10 we've discussed. So they're picking some good fighters at the very least. Thoughts on this week before we dive into it?
I think we've actually talked about more. Maybe
I think we talked about it enough, right?
Yeah. No, I think we've talked about more fighters.
Right. Yeah, maybe.
Because I think we've talked about Samuel Sanches at 1.2. And I think that makes it
maybe.
8. But fun event. I do really hate, even though it's been for the benefit of my guy here, Stephen Asplund. Like, I do really hate when these cards start to fall apart, like they have. And like one guy's on his 3rd fill-in fighter, and the skill level of a 3rd fill-in fighter typically lower than the guy who was supposed to be in there in the first place. So like that's kind of a bummer. Still fun, intriguing fights, and maybe my favorite prospect on the whole season.
Ooh, can't wait till we get to that. All right, before we do, excuse me, could it be someone named the Prodigy, Gumby, or not?
You have to wait and see.
So that would be fitting if it was. Free Roll Football contest is back at SGPN. It's free to enter, and you're picking every NFL game against the spread. $3,000 to first place, $4,000 if you're a Patreon subscriber. So go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/free roll. Plus 25% off everything in our merch store. I'll be sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store. Promo code is football. Make sure you check out all the cool MMA gambling podcast merch there. And we've got our own NFL Survivor contest, $100 entry fee, winner take all. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/survivor. All right, let's get into this fight card. Let's get some of Gumby's breakdowns here. Contender Series Tuesday, the 9th of September, 8 p.m. ESPN Plus, UFC Apex. You know the routine. They've switched the order around a little bit. We're starting off with females because that's what they always do. Ladies first. I guess they're being polite. This is women's flyweight. Shanelle Dyer from England. Carol Foro from Brazil. 3 5-minute rounds. No odds because the book are cowards. They want to hear what Gumby thinks first. 8-1, 6 knockouts, 1 submission. She's never been finished. She's won 6 straight fights, all via TKO. Multiple region championships on her.
Mantle.
Correct. Get her shirt, get her merch. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store. 0-1 in LFA. Used to fight at 115 and 135. 0-1 as a pro boxer. Dyer is nightmare. 6-0 with 4 knockouts. 3-0 on PFL. 1-0 as a pro grappler. 0-1 in pro Muay Thai. She's 4 years younger than Foro, 4 inches taller, 2-inch reach advantage.
So I think here Dyer comes in here as the sizable favorite, maybe -250. I mean, when she signed to fight on Contender Series, there was like multiple posts on like European sites and like the Dana White's Contender Series account. You know, like they were hyped on her. And I'm picking against her. I'm taking Carol Foro here. 2 reasons. Number one, the stylistic matchup, which I'm about to break down. But more importantly, she is a short queen. And you know how we honor our short queens here on the MMA Gambling Podcast. 5'2". I like that about her.
That's pretty much, they can't get much taller than that, right?
I think 5'2" is the cutoff when you're a short queen.
Yeah.
I mean, like, but at flyweight, I don't know. Maybe we could get away with 5'3".
It is flyweight.
Yeah. If she was a straw weight, she'd have to be 5'2" or below. Yeah.
Right.
But she even gets a little leeway here. She could grow an inch and we could still get her. You know, we're a society here. We have to live by rules. But with that being said, the reason I like Carol Foro, she's just a bulldog in there. You know, like if you watch her fights, the way that she works the body with her hooks, the way that she moves forward, she's kind of elusive defensively, despite being overly aggressive on the feet. She's got pretty good takedown defense, although I don't think that really comes into play here against Dyer, who I think is going to want to box. And like, I went back and I watched that Dyer fight with Scatizzi, which she only wins by split decision. And to be fair, I'm not really high on Scatizzi as a prospect. And in that fight, like, it doesn't look like she ever puts her foot on the gas once. It's like she's just waiting for Scatizzi to do something. And then, like, when Scatizzi comes in, she's like, okay, I'll touch her. And she did better than Scatizzi is barely, you know? But, like, it was just like she's just going to do a little bit. And, you know, maybe she can wrestle here and there too. But, like, I don't think of her as that, like, that's her mode of winning this fight. I think she's just going to try to counterpunch. And if you watch Carol Foro fight, first of all, you don't want to counterpunch just with Carol Foro because she's, first of all, going to hit you really, really hard. And as I mentioned, she's elusive. And in addition to that, too, I've watched a number of fights that have gone really deep into the fight. And her cardio just holds up despite the fact that she throws huge bombs. It kind of feels like you're watching like a Mauricio Hoofy, who's just like, for some reason, throwing every single bit of his punch into that and then it still has weird amounts of cardio at the end. And like, I really liked what I've seen from her in that. I love the way she works the body. I think she's going to be the fresher fighter, and I think you're going to get like 2-1 money on her. So give me Carol Foro here.
There you go. He's giving you a dog right out of the gate. Hopefully that one hits. All right, we're going to 145 on the men's side. Sorry for the delay.
I thought you froze there.
I did freeze. Yeah, I was uploading new software, but no, Tapology is all out of order. So Cam Teague, United States, Lerryan at Douglas, Brazil, 145 featherweight. Let's break her down by telling you about Gunslinger Douglas first. 12-5, 6 knockouts, 2 submissions. He's been knocked out twice, submitted twice. He's on 4 straight, all via TKO. He's not lost since August 2023. 4-1 in LFA and the champion there, a regional champ as well. Used to fight at 135, 2013 pro MMA debut, 3-inch reach advantage over Teague. Cam Teague is chaos Cam. 9-1, 5 knockouts, 2 submissions. He's been knocked out once. 0-1 in Contender Series. Who did you lose to, Gumby?
Kevin Vallejo. which is and
not
lost
getting
that age pretty well. Yeah.
It sure has. He's won 2 straight since then. He's a regional champ. He's fight at 165, 1-0 as a pro boxer, 3 years younger than Douglas, an inch taller.
I don't know who Cam Teague pissed off, because the way that they've booked this poor bastard in the Contender Series, I think is really mean.
It's like Antoine Ho too.
Yeah, I mean, like it's this might be a worse path to the UFC than Antoine Ho got.
Yeah.
Having to fight Lerryan Douglas after having fought Kevin Vallejos, like, dude, those are 2 lightning fast boxers, and you're a guy who's like largely made his bread by just being like a rock'em sock'em rope. Like, if you watch Cam Teague started getting his chances when he beat Austin Lingo. And he beat Austin Lingo just by like, let's go in and punch each other until one of us falls down. And like Lingo got tired way faster than he did. Here's the problem. Kevin Vallejos has never been tired in his whole life. I don't think he gets tired when he goes to sleep. And Lerryan Douglas, when he hits you, you want to get in a rock'em sock'em robot fight with him, he will knock your head off. This dude punches so hard. I mean, like when he knocked out Nate Garib, who's from up my neck of the woods, like a couple of my buddies trained with Nate Garib, like he had that guy up against the cage and he hit him so hard so many times that he couldn't fall down. He was like clearly unconscious and his body would not fall down. And that's the beauty of like Lerryan Douglas. I mentioned at the top of the episode, my favorite prospect on the show is here. It's Lerryan Douglas. I think Lerryan Douglas has maybe some of the highest promise in the entire season. His record doesn't look great, but since he's like turned that corner, he is a dangerous boxer who does not let you grapple him. Like, man, I think this is an insanely short night for Teague. This might be one of those ones where I look for like the gets knocked out in first minute props because I think Lerryan Douglas is going to knock his head off. If Lerryan Douglas is any less than -350, I'll be shocked.
All right. What do you think he will be? -350? Is that your guess, or
I'll say 400? I'll say 400.
All right, -400. All right. What do the Tapologists say? Tapologists say
99.9%.
No, 84. Only 84%. So there you go.
What?
Maybe you'll get a decent number. Yeah. And Foro, you're 11% are in on Foro with you.
Yeah, I kind of saw that coming.
Yeah. All right, more winning plays after I tell you about more of our lovely sponsors, mybookie.ag. MyBookie is your place to bet in football and everything else. Their prop builder is second to none. Their motto is bet on anything, anywhere, anytime. Easy deposit and lightning fast payouts using the crypto. Check out the Contender Series lines there when they drop. And when you do head to mybookie.ag, you can sign up with our promo code MMA SGPN. That way you get 100% bet back bonus up to $500 for new customers. So that's mybookie.ag, promo code MMA SGPN. And Rhythm, it's RITHMM. NFL is back on Rhythm. Last season, Rhythm was 76-66 against the spread and 22-19 on over-unders. But they really shine on player props. They went 10-5 in Baker Mayfield props. They got a 25% return on investment on that. Rhythm also has MLB, WNBA golf, and college football. Rhythm has introduced a leaderboard with weekly cash prizes just for tracking your bets in the app. Track 5 bets of the same type from any model you build, and you can win $1,000. It wants us to mention an NFL Week 1 prediction.
I think I've mentioned one of those or two so far. No, you just mentioned the Baker Mayfield props. I'm huge on Baker Mayfield this year. He's getting the Falcons to kick off the season 2. Right now, we got him listed at 239.5 passing yards. I think he throws for at least 240. Give me the higher than on Baker Mayfield's passing yards. Heck, I'll take his touchdowns too while we're at it.
Whoa. All right. See if Rhythm agrees with Gumby. You can get a 7-day free trial by going to sportsgamblingpockets.com/rhythm. That's RITHMM. All right. Off to the next fight. It would be 205. So light heavyweight Felipe Franco from Brazil. Freddy Vidal from United States of America. Vidal is the Barbarian. 3-0 with 2 knockouts. He is taking this fight on short notice. He's the third person to sign up for this fight. 2 straight wins via TKO, 1-0 in LFA. Franco is 8-0, 5 knockouts, 3 submissions, so he goes his rounds. Used fight at 265. So short resume for both these guys.
Yeah, I think Franco is going to be the big favorite. You know, obviously being the third opponent and being 3-0 and getting your chance on Contender Series doesn't really bode well for the odds here on Freddy Vidal. The first opponent had a visa issue. The second opponent didn't say why he missed the fight, but he has now deactivated all of his social media accounts, which feels particularly odd.
He was scared, bro. He's scared.
I don't know what that's about. But that's weird. And now Freddy Vidal is in here. And look, I would manage to find some film on Freddy Vidal, which was surprisingly a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. And like, it looks like he's got the really great base of becoming a possible, light heavyweight prospect in the future. He looks like a guy who's 3-0 and has beat up some dudes on the regional scene. His hands are kind of coming around. He seems to have some like very basic combinations. He's got some ground and pound when he's knocked people down, but I just don't see anything really special. And with Franco, like he's had guys blitz him before. He's had guys, pitter patter with him before. He's had a whole bunch of different things. And the thing I like about him is that like he can kind of wade in and out of all of those different kinds of fights and manage. And then in addition to that too, like his jiu-jitsu game's kind of nasty. Like I've seen him on the ground, and his transitions are really smooth and really sharp, especially for a light heavyweight. Like let's put this into context. 205ers in general, quite a bit less nimble. But like, he moves pretty well on the ground for a light heavyweight. He's locked up some submissions in the past. I just think like Freddy Vidal is kind of like in a bad spot wherever he goes. If he wants to stand and trade, like it's like you can say he has a puncher's chance, but Felipe Franco's faster and hits harder. And then, on the ground, I've really seen nothing of Freddy Vidal's defense because he's never really had to use it. And like an 8-0 prospect with a BJJ background is like maybe not the first time you want to test that. You know what I mean? It's like maybe not, especially on this stage. So I like Felipe Franco here. My guess is though that this line is so astronomical that it's not even remotely playable. Like this would not surprise me to be pushing the 4 digits. Like if you told me this was 850, I'd have been like, oh yeah, that seems probably about right. Like they're not going to like a late replacement 3-0 fighter who doesn't have a lot of cage time.
Yep. All right. There's your next winning play. All right. Co-main event. They don't call it that, but I'm going to call that 155. That would be lightweight. Chasen, Blair, United States. Samuel Sanches from Brazil. Tell you about Sanches first. He is the prodigy. He's 10-1, 7 knockouts, 1 submission. He's been submitted once. He's won 7 straight fights, 2 straight via TKO. He's not lost a fight since July 2022. He's regional champ. He's fight at 170. He's 5 years younger than Blair, 2 inches taller. Blair is mestizo, 7-3, 4 knockouts, 3 submissions. He's been knocked out once, submitted once. He owes his rounds. 0-1 in the Contender Series because he lost to
Cody Steele.
There you go. Correct. 4-1 over his last 5. He won his last bout via submission. 7-2 in Cage Warriors. Used to fight at 170.
Yeah, so for me, I'm going to go Samuel Sanches in this one. And as far as the odds are concerned, I kind of originally thought Chasen Blair would be the favorite. He's a Cage Warriors guy. He's looked pretty good at Cage Warriors. Samuel Sanches has been, kind of kicking around the Brazilian regional scene and maybe not against the same level of competition. But then one of my buddies who, works for a book told me that I think you got it backwards. I think Samuel Sanches winds up being the favorite. So usually when I have that like disagreement internally and with somebody externally, I usually just say, maybe this will come in as a pick 'em. Maybe Sanches is a slight favorite. But as I said at the top, I like Samuel Sanches in this fight. The big thing for me is I went back and I watched Chasen Blair fight Cody Steele. And I was like, he has his moments on the feet, right? Like he looks pretty good on the feet. Gets hit once in a while, but he kind of lands his own stuff too. And, doesn't necessarily get wrestled up. But then, when you go watch Samuel Sanches fight, like, yes, it is against the lower level of opponent often, but like you can't account for that speed. He's so much faster. The leg kicks come in so thunderous and he throws those kicks up high too, which is another facet of his game. And, with the fact that Chasen Blair got hit by Cody Steele, who like was a BJJ guy, right? Like he was a BJJ guy for years. Like the fact that Blair got hit by him, now he's going to be fighting a guy who's got really nice leg kicks, throws up top. He's got really nice counters. Like if you commit too much on a punch, like he can really punish you there. Like I just think Sanches is too good on the feet. I don't think Blair's going to take him down. And so if this takes place on the feet, like I kind of just like Sanchez's chances to throw there and win.
All right. Samuel Sanches is the pick. Got a main event after I tell you about the last couple of sponsors here. Underdog Best Ball Mania is happening all summer long. Giving away $15 million in prizes, including $2 million to first place. No waiver wire, no arguments about trades. Best Ball is the best way to play fantasy football. Underdog also is a great place to play pick'em, where you win up to 500 times your entry, and Gumby usually has a winning play for you.
We have been dropping plays for you this week. I think I'm going to head over. We'll keep it with the UFC. So if you're getting this before UFC Paris starts, got a play for you there. I'm going to take Lucene Quitas. I'm going to take the higher than on his significant strikes. I mentioned before, I do think he's going to knock out Patricio Pitbull, but they got him listed at only 42.5 significant strikes. I think it might take him a little bit later into the fight until that damage builds up. So give me the higher than on Lucene Quitas significant strikes.
And Underdog's got a brand new offer for new customers. Play just $5 and get $50 in bonus funds when you sign up with our code MMASGPN. And NoVig, N-O-V-I-G. We're also brought to you by NoVig. NoVig is America's #1 sports prediction market. Since NoVig is an exchange, you're getting some of the best prices in the market. NoVig is available in 35 plus states. Download the NoVig app and get $50 when you spend $5 if you use our code SGPN. Get in on the action with NoVig. Promo code SGPN. All right, main event. And it's big boys. Gumby likes them both. Anthony Guarascio, Stephen Asplund, a couple of Americans, 3 5-minute rounds if they need it. We'll talk about concrete Asplund first. 5-1 with 4 knockouts. He's been submitted once. He's taken this fight on a short notice. He's won 2 straight, both via TKO. He's gone 4-1 in LFA. He's 4 years younger than Guarascio, 3 inches taller, an inch of reach advantage over him, and 18 pounds heavier than him based on their last weigh-ins. Guarascio is the daywalker, 3-0 with 1 no contest, 2 knockouts, 1 submission. He's been 2 straight fights. He's won via TKO. He's the CFFC champion. He went 1-0 in cage boxing and 3-0 as a pro kickboxer.
Yeah, so this one's a tricky one for me because, before we've been talking about, striker versus grappler and this stuff, like these two are strikers, but in the weirdest way you could possibly combine an all striker fight, because you've got the guy in Guarascio who got big hands, right? Like this guy, when he hits, he sleeps people. We watched him. I actually doubted him on this very podcast in a fight against Bailey Schoenfelder. When I interviewed him shortly thereafter, he brought it up. And props to him for bringing it up, because I think I wrote him off as being like a discount Roy Nelson. And look, he proved he's way more than that. Like, he's sharp with his hands and he hits really hard. Now, on the other side, the complete flip side of that coin is a dude in Stephen Asplund, who I think could hit hard if he wanted to, but instead he's going to hit you 4 million times, and he's going to hit you with the sharpest elbows to just cut you to hell and high heaven, right? Like he's tampered a little bit with using the nickname the Butcher, because that's 100% what he is when he goes in and fights. Is he just cuts people to hell, and he puts a pace on people that nobody is ready for at heavyweight. For people who don't know Asplund, this dude used to weigh 370 pounds or something like that. He's lost over 100 pounds to fit down into the heavyweight weight class, and in the process developed maybe some of the most insane cardio we've ever seen out of a dude his size. And so the question then becomes, can Guarascio land the big strike before Asplund just wears him down into a point where he can't compete anymore? And I think Asplund's tough enough to do it. So for me, as hard as it is to pick between these two guys I really like and I'm interviewing, I'm going to take Asplund. I think the pace here is good, and I think his durability is another real big piece of it. We've seen some dudes who hit pretty damn hard. Denzel Freeman hit him really hard. We've seen some guys with good boxing hit him. He seems to have the chin, and then in addition to that too, just the pace, the length, all of those things, I think it's good for Asplund. So I'm going to take Stephen Asplund here. My guess, I got to imagine coming in on short notice, a little bit of a blemish on his record as well. Maybe we'll see him at plus 170, plus 175.
All right. Lock it in. All right. Let's give you a recap and get out of here. Asplund, Sanches, Franco, Douglas, and Foro. Hopefully this week is less of a bummer than last week's Contender Series.
Well, when you got two of your favorites fighting each other, it can't be a bummer for both of them.
That's true. That's a very good point. We'll be in the Discord chatting about it. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. On YouTube, MMA Gambling Podcast. Hit us up in the comments there and subscribe, please and thanks. MMA SGPN on the old Twitter. That's SGPN MMA. SGPN MMA on the Twitter. Gumby runs that. He's at Gumby Reeland. I'm at Jeff Fox Writer on Twitter. I'm at Jeff Fox Writer on Instagram. I got a Substack. You can win prizes for free in my UFC pick'em every week at moneymma.substack.com. Got a bunch of articles up there every week as well. Gumby has another podcast, Top Turtle. He interviews interesting people. He's got someone from this year episode on there, right? Chasen Blair?
Yeah, Chasen Blair, and then TBD second guest. It's probably already in your feed at the time of you listening to it. So just go ahead and pull it up, download it, and listen to it.
Yeah, you'll enjoy Top Turtle. And of course, sportsgamblingpodcast.com, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store, football at checkout, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon. We'll be back next week, I guess, right? Yes, another week, a busy week next week. I think we're going to have 6 episodes next week, maybe.
Oh, yeah, we're going deep. 6 days a week, baby.
Yep. All right, Gumby, bid us farewell.
I'm Dating Gumby Freeland. He's Concrete Jeff Fox, and we will see you on Sunday.